stay living below your means while you work to expand your means and create your daily life in every area, not just the income side, but my health. How am I prioritizing my spiritual, my mental, my physical health? Are we eating healthy in the process of, working 60 plus hours a week?
Sometimes you just need to hear about things that millionaires got wrong. Yes, it's fun to talk about what millionaires are doing today and how they're enjoying trips to the Mediterranean with their family or maybe going to Iceland and Greenland. It's nice to live vicariously. But I think what's even better is when the millionaires step back and admit what they got wrong during the grind phase. And gonna have this conversation with the one and only and lovely Anna Kelly. How you doing, Anna?
I am great. I just got back from that wonderful Mediterranean cruise, and you just got back from Iceland. So
I did,
I
yes.
feel tremendously blessed to live the life we're living today of financial freedom, thanks to real estate and buying truly one rental at a time. So, but like you said, I really like this topic because I think in this world of social media that tells you you have to hustle and grind all day, every day, give it your all to be successful, we've learned what that hustle and grind season looks like. And it's really important that we share the good, bad, and the ugly of what hustle and grind can do to you. Yes, it can create some massive success, and you have to have a certain level of hustle and grind for sure to be successful. But I think too many people miss out on the joys of the everyday things in life because they don't stop the hustle and grind for anything, especially people that are laser focused and determined like you and I are. That I think it's really important to have real conversations about what would we do different, and should we have stopped and smelled the roses more, if you will, or taken vacations along the way like I didn't. So I love this topic.
Yeah, one of the things that again sometimes only comes with reflection, and both you and I are helping hundreds, if not thousands, of people every year kind of get on or stay on this journey. I just think it's important to acknowledge, you could do it a different way and maybe even be happier, right? One of the things that, I often call it my superpower, my unique ability to focus on a single task and do that task repeatedly for years, if not decades, is
Mhm.
also my kryptonite, right? One of the things that we're going to
Mhm.
sit back and acknowledge this, we start this journey when Teresa is 8. It really doesn't get good until she's off in college. So I want you to sit back as a parent and realize, what does that mean? That means I was working 40 or 50 or 60 hours a week at my job. It meant I was spending extra hours trying to build this real estate thing. And it
Mhm.
means my job took me all over the world. So Olivia raised her 4 or 5 days a week by herself. And, again, we're here now and Teresa doesn't want for anything, but I missed a lot. And I think there's a lot of things we should have done different. We should have taken more family vacations. And again, I'm not talking the $20,000 vacations we're doing now. I'm
Yeah.
talking the $500 to $2,000 vacations in
Mhm.
the free ones, right? We should have
Right.
I should have done it different, and I still feel bad about that.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. When people ask me if I could do things over, what would I do? One of my biggest things that I continually say is I would have, even if it took me another year or two, I would have slowed down just a little bit because I truly, I mean, I looked at my time. I worked a 40 to 50-hour a week corporate career at AIG. I ran my husband's business side of his chiropractic business, hired his staff, did his billing, did his marketing, was in the practice first thing in the morning, lunch breaks, and after work, then picked up our kids. And then we did real estate on the side after that. So it was truly 70 to 80 hours a week, probably most weeks for 10 to 11 years. And the only time we took vacation, we live in Pennsylvania, my family's in Texas. So every other year we would drive down to Texas, either in the summer or at Christmas. And that was our vacation. So we did get to enjoy seeing my family, but we did nothing else, and I grew up on the lake and the river and skiing and going to the beach. And my husband said to us, like 9 years in, we haven't taken our kids to the beach since
Oh,
Dane was 3 before we moved to Pennsylvania. And I was like, this is terrible. We need to make it a priority this summer. And so we realized like those years of doing that, we had the throes of the GFC when we thought we're going to get rich quick, pretty rich, right? He's chiropractor, I'm doing real estate, like a couple years after '07 when we, went full on, both businesses and our jobs. we thought 2 years we'll be set, right? I can be home with my kids. And then we had the GFC. And so
Mhm.
that put so much more pressure on me to have to build the side hustle of real estate and his business when AIG was failing. That level of pressure just made me, like you said, completely laser focused that I have to buy as many rentals as I can, as quickly as I can, and do whatever it takes. And it kept me from having fun. I'm a generally joyous person, but I was stressed a lot, lack of sleep, gaining weight, not having time to cook, eating fast food, and then taking a quick vacation. And he had a practice, and so he was like, I can't leave my patients, for any more than a week at a time, once a year. And so what we did is we went to the beach, and that week at the beach was so eye-opening for us, Michael. I was like, this is the first time I think I've relaxed with no tension, even getting adjusted all the time by my husband. And I miss this, and I want my kids to enjoy this. And so that was kind of a turning point for us to say, yes, we have to keep doing this, for a little bit longer, right? Just one more rental, whatever it was. But we are going to prioritize a vacation a year to see my family instead of every other year, and a vacation at the beach. And what we did after the second year is we said, let's buy it. If we buy it, it's forced vacation. We have to use it. And so we bought a beach house, and that was the best thing we did. But I
Nice.
wish if I could do it differently, I know it would have probably taken me a little bit longer, or I would have gone to buy a little bit bigger stuff faster than I had the confidence to do it. And I would have prioritized at the very most, like, we will have dinner together at least 3 nights a week and not work till 11 p.m. after we put my kids to bed and then keep working. We would have taken the vacations earlier and had more of that quality time, just being and having fun and not having to work and hustle 24/7 to get it done.
Yeah, there's so much wisdom in that, and I would just coach people, the hustle and grind phase, again, I keep telling people it's a 10-year journey. I strongly recommend you don't do it the way I did. Don't do it the way that
Mhm.
Anna did, where you're just on all the time. It's exhausting, stressful,
Yeah,
and more importantly, you just miss stuff, right? You miss going to the beach. You miss,
yeah,
you miss going to Yosemite, or you miss whatever that is. Your kids are
yeah,
only young ones, and I'm sitting here, as someone who's got more than he deserves, and I admit that I did it wrong. I should have spent more time
yeah,
with Teresa growing up. I should have spent more time, the three of
yeah,
us together. And
yeah,
I don't want that for others. I want them to realize you can do both. It's going to take 10 years regardless.
yeah.
So, find moments and involve them. One of the things that I shared, I did a live stream yesterday, and I talked about an exercise that Olivia and I did. I would actually recommend people do this with their family. Olivia and I did it after Teresa was out of the house. But create a top 10 list of places you want to travel to. Have fun with
Mm,
it. Give
yeah,
everybody a vote, right? And Olivia got 5, I got 5 in this example because there was 2 of us, but talk to your kids. Ask them
yeah,
where they want to go. Tell them where you want to go. Make
yeah.
that list, put it on the refrigerator. You just never know when you put it out in the universe where the opportunities might arise. So, involve the kids in this journey. Try to make them understand that, yes, this 10 years of sacrifice is important, but we're doing it together. And these will be the things that, hopefully we'll find time to do. What do you think of that?
100%. There's so many things going off in my mind, things that we can add on to that. But yeah, my kids and I do that now. When I did retire from AIG 5.5 years ago, I said, we are going to travel. We're making up for lost time. I've got a few years with y'all still home. Let's make up. And so, we decided, let's make a list of the places that we want to go. And I have 4 kids. At the time they were, I'm trying to think. Now they're 13 to 21. So they would have been like, 8 to
8 to
16.
16. Yeah.
So very different ideas, but we'd say, let's see where we want to go. And,
Yeah.
we did Atlantis, Bahamas because they all agreed on it. We did Disney because they all agreed on it. So Europe was mama's thing, but they enjoyed it once we went. But it's really important to involve them. And one of the mistakes that I made along with this hustle and grind is I thought, well, we spent a lot of time together. They were on the floor of our practice in the playroom while we worked. They were on the floor of our apartments while we painted. Like, they learned the value of hard work and having to be determined and disciplined and do hard things. But we missed out on so much just fun joyous free time. Yes, we had a lot of quantity together because we took them and involved them, but we just didn't have that level of fun. And there was a book that I read, and I had this on my heart for so long, this like, I want to be home with my kids quickly, and so I've got to sacrifice, but we want to have more fun together. And how do we do that before I can afford to, buy the boat to go to the lake and go skiing, right? And I was just so laser focused that I wasn't thinking as clearly as I should about, okay, we can make it happen, just do it differently. And I read a book a few years ago, I recommend to everybody. It's called Life and Air. And it's really the concept of, you create your life by design as you're going and as you're building your financial freedom and as you're building your businesses or whatever. And if you can't afford the experience, you need to reset your mindset and say, I can't not afford the experience, number one. But the other thing is, how can I rent the experience until I can afford it, right? I didn't have to buy the beach house. The first 2 years, I rented the beach house. You don't have to go buy $100,000 boat because your friends have it and you want to ski. Go rent the boat for the day, right? You
Mhm.
don't have to buy the Corvette. Go rent the Corvette instead of a standard car when you go on vacation. So it's those little things that you can do to say, yes, I need to hustle and grind and I need to be determined. And we're not saying be lazy, because you'll never have success if you're lazy either. But take time to put it on your calendar. What memories do we want to create? Once a week, go out to lunch, for goodness sake. Take your kids somewhere fun, but rent those experiences and create your life by design. And I was kind of doing that with, okay, we have the business, we have all these different income streams to get me home with my kids, but daily life was not fun. And I, my kids will still tell me that. Now they're
Hmm.
glad in hindsight we did it, but I'm teaching them to do it in a different way. And so it's important to plan every aspect of your life. And when you're so laser focused on surviving,
Hmm.
part of our hustle wasn't because I just wanted to be, it was never because I wanted to be rich. It was, I want to be home with my kids. And so I have to replace this much income. And so now we have a bunch of debt. We got to pay that off from the practice. And now we got, we're just hustling just enough to live check to check, honestly, for years, to dig out from under debt from the GFC with my rental income. But eventually it was like, wow, we have enough cash flow now. And we lived also really below our means. So a lot of people that I know that hustle, 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 soon as they can, they buy the boat, right? They
Yeah.
buy the car, they buy the bigger house. And that just puts you in that even, more stressed, pushing yourself to have to do it longer than 10 years because you're pushing up your lifestyle too quickly. I'm thankful that we learned to live below our means, and we really, really did. So even though this is lessons, one of the things I did right was I lived below my means, and so many people don't, which forces you to feel the pressure of, I got to work harder and can't afford the vacation. So stay living below your means while you work to expand your means and create your daily life in every area, not just the income side, but my health. How am I prioritizing my spiritual, my mental, my physical health? Are we eating healthy in the process of, working 60 plus hours a week? Relationships. Am I taking time with my husband to have a date, or are we fighting all the time because we're working under stressful conditions 24/7,
Hmm.
7 days a week? And for me, it was the latter for a long time. So thankfully, our marriage survived and we started prioritizing date nights. So I'll add date nights and living below your means as two important things.
Yeah, I love all of that. One of the kind of tangents on this conversation I had with one of my VP of sales early in my career is he told me he loved it when sales reps bought new cars or leased new cars. And I was like, it's kind of weird. Why is that? Just because they would always lease the biggest car they could. And it basically more debt meant they got there early, they worked harder, they were stressful. I'm like, I went home and thought about this, like, this is crazy. We're encouraging people to spend up to this perceived number to add stress to their life because they're going to work harder. Don't do that, right? Don't
Right.
increase your lifestyle to match your income. Got to live below your means. It
Mhm.
was a huge benefit to us. Life and Air, folks. I'll put the link below. I'll go find it on Amazon. I'll put a link below if you want to check it out. Anna's recommended it several times, so I'll make sure it goes in the show notes. Anna, we've got two more topics to go through. But before we get to
Great.
number two, how can they find you?
You can find me here on your channel every week. It's the only podcast I've been doing consistently for 6 years almost, Michael. I think in 2 months it'll be
Crazy.
6 years. So, love all the content that we're able to share. You can find me on social media, Facebook and LinkedIn at Anna Kelly, REI Mom. And if you're looking for real estate coaching, consulting, or potential investment deals, if you're accredited, you can find me at AnnaKellyInvesting.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much.